What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are talking brand new irons from TaylorMade. We've got P7MBs, that's the blades. We've got P7MCs, that's the kind of small cavity back players type iron. And then we've got two driving irons. So let's dive straight in and take a look at these irons. First of all, we're going to be having a look at the P7MC irons. Now these are really interesting. They've been spotted on tour already, and basically they're a small cavity back. They'll be replacing the kind of P760s that a lot of tour players have been using for the past few years, and they look pretty interesting. They've definitely got a lot of modern touches to them, but a lot of people are talking about the references to the old TaylorMade Tour Preferred irons. Have a look at this. You can see the direct comparison between these irons, and there's definitely some similarities and some styling drawn from those old Tour Preferred irons. And to be honest, this is something we're seeing with TaylorMade quite a lot now. If we talk about the Sim fairway woods in that V-Steel technology, that was actually drawn out of the old TaylorMade V-Steel fairway woods, which are decades old. So it's really interesting that they're combining these kind of modern styling with some of their old designs. And it's really interesting to see the outcome of these products, and it's going to be even more interesting to hit them and see how they are. The one thing I really hope with these irons is I really hope, even though they're a cavity back, I really desperately want them to have a very thin top line. I have a set of the TaylorMade P760 irons, and my one critique of these irons, they feel great, they perform great, but from the top, from the down the line view, to me they're a little bit chunky at the top, and you know, they are a player's iron basically. They're a player's iron basically. They're, you know, for good golfers. A lot of tour players use them. And for me, when I look down at the ball, I just want something a little bit sleeker, something that really suits my eye aesthetically. So let's move on. Now let's take a look at the new P770 irons. So obviously TaylorMade did already bring out a P770. You can have a look here. And, you know, I don't think they were that well selling of an iron. I think they didn't do badly, but I think they were fairly popular. I know a lot of tour players used them, but I also know a lot of people had their hang-ups about them. But these are a completely different iron. If we compare these two, they are worlds apart. There's no overlap in kind of redesign or updates or styling. This is a brand new iron, and at first look, they look to me very similar to the P790s. If we put these two back to back, you know, you can definitely see some overlap in the kind of styling. There's definitely some new updates with these as well. The shaping of that back kind of panel with that kind of V look to it, that's definitely something they're kind of incorporating into all of these iron sets. Definitely if we compare these to the P7MCs, the shape of that back panel looks pretty similar actually, although the actual back of the iron does not look similar at all. They are very different. And to me, these look so good. They look futuristic, modern, sleek, well designed. They look pretty forgiving as well. I think these irons are going to go a long way. Again, I really hope these irons have quite a slim top line. I really would love to see that, a forgiving iron that looks really good down at the ball, really slim, really kind of aesthetic. I would absolutely love to see these because they look really amazing. I love the kind of two-toned finish. You got that satin on the bottom, and then you've got that beautiful chrome on top. I think that looks incredible. Obviously with these, you've got that speed slot in them as well, along the bottom of the iron there, and that's obviously going to be for distance, forgiveness, and maybe even a little bit of feel and kind of acoustic sound design as well in there, with kind of probably some filling put in there to dampen and really deaden that feel and sound. So these look really great. I mean, all the new TaylorMade irons look really pretty impressive. I think we're being absolutely spoiled at the moment with all of these products seeming to come to market within the next few months. And now it's time to take a look at the blades, the P7MBs. Now, Rory Mcilroy has already put these in the bag. They've been seen in the bag of Charlie Hull and a few other people, and at first look, they look pretty awesome. Definitely modern, definitely a new design, and about time for TaylorMade to bring out a new blade, because I think the P730s came out something like 3 or 4 years ago, which is a long time for a product life cycle, especially in terms of the TaylorMade lineup. You know, we're used to them bringing out new irons, new products every single year, and you know, some people like that, some people don't. Personally, for me, I don't really have anything against it. I like new products. I like to see new products coming out. Even if I don't buy them, even if I don't use them myself, it's kind of nice to see them coming out. But I understand that if you go and buy a sim driver, a sim woods, and it's pretty frustrating that, you know, 9, 10 months, 11 months later, they're going to be bringing out new woods and you're effectively going to have a second generation product. So let's take a look at these P7MBs. They look stunning. These are actually the set Rory Mcilroy's using. This is his actual golf bag. And they look really good. I love the shape of them. I love the finish on them. Again, you've got that two-tone finish. This is something we're seeing a lot with TaylorMade now. You've got the satin finish and the chrome finish together. It looks great. My one hang-up with the chrome finish is I do think it gets kind of a little bit dented and scratched quite easily, so you end up maybe with the products looking a bit older than they are just a few months down the line. But I mean, they look incredible. It's a really interesting shape with them as well. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what the kind of TaylorMade marketing hype is around these irons, what they're saying is the new technology in them, how they're saying maybe they're more forgiving, or maybe they go a bit further, or whatever they're saying with them. I mean, blades are blades. You don't really want them going super far. You don't really want so much forgiveness, because if you're hitting blades, you're a pretty good ball striker anyway. I would expect these irons to have some new technology in them. I would expect them to have some tungsten in them. That's something we've seen with Tiger Woods's TW irons, is the use of tungsten in them to help with weighting. I think it also helps a bit with forgiveness and certain other aspects. But they look great, and it's going to be really interesting to compare all of these irons out the box to see what is the difference, because actually this could be the biggest TaylorMade iron release that I can remember. I don't remember them bringing out so many irons all at the same time, and it's going to be really interesting as a consumer to see where each of us fits in with these irons, because honestly, looking at all of these 3 irons we've just gone through, I'm not sure which one I would play if I got fit for them. I could actually see me playing every single one of those irons possibly. So we've got 2 more, and now we're going to jump into the driving irons, and these are super new released images. They look absolutely insane. We have the TaylorMade Sim UDI and we have the TaylorMade Sim DHY. Now, this is the only image I was able to get of these irons. They are being kept really on the down low. But first of all, we're going to talk about the TaylorMade Sim UDI. So this is going to be, I would expect, in probably just a 2 iron. It would be interesting to see if they made a 1 iron of this. They may do it for maybe tour players or players that are really good ball strikers. But at first look, this is going to be obviously replacing the TaylorMade Gapper lineup, where they came out with that Gapper High, Gapper Low and Gapper Mid. And the TaylorMade Sim UDI looks incredible. I think it looks really, I mean, it could be the best driving iron I think I've ever seen. That black finish on it looks like it's done in some sort of matte kind of rubber, and it has that weight central in the back. Now this is going to be a club that will primarily be used by really good players. It's probably going to come out with a very low ball flight. You've got that weight right in the middle at the back. So very low ball flight, penetrating ball flight. This is probably something we'll see a lot of tour players using at British Opens, US Opens, those sorts of tournaments where you really want to be keeping that ball low off the tee. And there's not much more we can say about it. It does say forged along the shaft of the club there, so I would expect the sound and feel of it to be really, really good. Now if we look at the TaylorMade Sim DHY, this I'm guessing stands for driving hybrid iron instead of UDI, stands for ultimate driving iron. So driving hybrid iron, obviously this is a cross between a driving iron and a hybrid. We can actually see there's a weight port right at the bottom on the sole of the club. So you would expect this to have a bit of a higher ball flight, be slightly easier to hit. It looks like it might be slightly more chunky at the bottom, possibly. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but if you actually look at the shape of these two clubs, they're very, very different. The DHY looks like it sits a bit lower, has a bit more of a kind of squashed head, and it looks like it's probably designed to help you get that ball up in the air a little bit more. Also, we can actually see there's a number 3 on the sole of it, so this is obviously going to be available in a 3 iron as well as probably a 2 iron as well. Maybe they'll even make a 4 iron, who knows. But again, it looks really good. You've got that kind of satiny chrome finish to it, and you've got that matte black along the bottom. I mean, I think both of these look really good. I think they're gonna sell. I think people are really going to love them. People love driving irons nowadays, and we see them in the hands of tour players week in, week out. And they just seem to fly off the shelves every time TaylorMade brings out a new driving iron. At the moment, we've got the TaylorMade P790 UDI, and I think these will do really well. So guys, what do you guys think of all of those irons? It's going to be really, really interesting to see all of these irons when they come out, when we get some more images of them. I will be doing more images of these and videos on them as soon as I have more information on them, so make sure you are subscribed, make sure you like this video, and make sure you comment your thoughts below. I'd love to know what you guys think of this iron. I'm also going to be doing a video next week on the Callaway new MB irons, so if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. They look absolutely insane. If you haven't seen the pictures already, I'll save it for next week. And I hope you guys have a great time playing golf over the next week or so. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, grip it and rip it.